We're live. I got a cat. I'm wearing a shirt for the first time ever. I'll talk about that. The the thumbnail image. I'll talk about that. This and more coming up in 15 seconds. Right? Did you burp? I don't know if those of you listening can hear it, but she's purring incredibly loudly. She's a very happy cat right now. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Monday. It's June 7th, 2021. My name is Jeremy. This is Zuza. And this is my first cup of coffee. I just ate coffee grounds. If you're new to the show, we talk about martial arts and life, and I engage with all of you. So first off, that thumbnail image, I finally caught the chipmunk, and I woke up to him in the trap. I was like, all right, he's clearly very stressed. I'm gonna go drive him away. I'm gonna go put him where I put the last one, which I don't think was the same one. This was what, last year? I think it was last year. Because I felt bad. You know, here I've got this animal in this little cage. And drove him away, over a river, about 3.5 miles away. Left him some hazelnuts, and came back. And I wasn't going to do that in a robe. So I had to change. And I also didn't want to change back, because it's morning, and it's early, and I'm tired, and I haven't had coffee yet, because that's the whole premise of this show. Why are there so many coffee grounds in my coffee this morning? Well, I had a good day. I hope you had a good day. Weekend, I mean. Hope you had a good weekend. Very little martial arts going on in my life over the weekend. I do want to say though, my Superfoot friends were all together in Memphis for a really cool training, and I was not there, and it makes me really sad. And I was not there because my priority is to take care of this very old, very finicky creature that I was not comfortable leaving with other people. So I'm trying not to hold that against her. I'm trying not to be resentful. It's really tough. So I know I made the right decision. I don't regret the decision. I regret having to make the decision. What else happened this weekend? I did projects in the yard. Weed whacking and mowing, and a friend came over and he helped me with some stuff, and went out to eat and went for a hike. Oh, Saturday I went for a hike with a friend and did the whole thing barefoot. It was not a trail, period. It used to be a trail. Half of it was a trail. And then it was no longer a trail, but we kept going. Most of it was moss, so my feet were fine. But there was no trail. All trails was wrong. So I left a review for the trail saying, don't do this. This is a bad idea. Just don't. Don't go here. But it was a good story. Nobody died. If you start off a story with, well, nobody died, it's probably a pretty good story, because it feels like somebody could have. It was very steep. There were rocks, large rocks that we had to climb. There were dislodging old trees that were the old soft trees that were the only handholds that we were hoping didn't come loose. Yeah, it was a nightmare. And then I had a burrito. Actually, I had a burrito last night too. Pretty tasty. Oh, this isn't plugged in. Are you still have charge? Let's plug you in. It's Monday, so there's an episode. Let's see if it's out yet. What do you think? Is it out? It is. So this is an episode with someone who was at the weekend that I was looking forward to seeing in person. I got to work through this. I really do. It's really Facebook this morning was just, it was full of people testing and promoting and training and having fun and smiling, and it's killing me. Not because I didn't want them to do it, but because I'm jealous. I'm jealous I didn't. Because we didn't do anything last year. Now things are starting to happen and I didn't get to do them. And that makes me feel things about this one that I don't want to feel. So today's episode is with Mr. Shannon Hudson, who is if you are I don't know if we have anybody who is really such a huge fan of martial arts radio that they nerd out on trivia stuff and know everything about the show. I don't even think I know everything about the show anymore. But back in the early days, Kevin Hudson was on the show. Superfoot black belt, was there at my first on. Great guy. Well, this is his brother, Shannon. Shannon started a little company that some of you may have heard of called 9 Round. 9 Round is a massive international kickboxing franchise, fitness franchise. It's really cool what they've done, and you should check out the show, and then you should check out what they do. Is that a sunburn? No, that's a shadow. It's like, I don't think I got sunburned. Can you not step on my tablet, Kitty? She doesn't care. She's a cat. But this was a really good conversation. In this episode, Shannon talks about, of course, his history at 9 Round and how that all started. And he talks about other people, talks about his brother, talks about martial arts. And he talks about how all of those things connected, because this is not a small company. This is a major organization. And for those of you out there running a school or owning your own business in some capacity, there's a lot in here for you to pull from. I came away really pumped up, really inspired. And I hope you do too. So check that out. Of course, it's here on YouTube. There's no video of this one. It's here on YouTube. It's in your podcast feed. You can go to whistlekickmartialartsradio.com and check out its episode. What episode number was it? 612. Now, the next thing I want to say, I want to address, over the weekend, there were a number of comments that came in on the Whistlekick Martial Arts Radio behind the scenes Facebook group addressing episode 611, which we called Freedom of Martial Arts, where I related my belief on what martial arts, what our individual rights are as martial artists to the U.S. Constitution's First Amendment. And I'm going to admit, I was really frustrated by these comments because people took what I saw as the most analogous thing and, in my opinion, really nitpicked my analogy, as if to say it didn't hold. Nothing in what I saw suggested that they really disagreed, and one of the comments was to come up with a very extreme counterexample that I don't think would ever exist. So let me sum it up in a different way in case anybody who listened to watch that episode had trouble with what I said. Here's the heart of it. No one of us has the right to determine what is and is not martial arts, what is and is not legitimate, who should be or should not be, etc., within the role of martial arts training, teaching. You are welcome to have your opinion, but no one deserves the authority to determine that. Martial arts is so dynamic and variable, and that is what makes it awesome. And if someone is going to say, that is not martial arts, you are saying that you deserve that. Or in most cases, when I've heard people say that, they are not saying it from a, that wouldn't work for me. They're saying it from a very definitive line in the sand. I don't think that should exist, and those people should not be training that perspective. I think that is BS. I think it is arrogant, and I don't associate with people who do that. Okay. Not that I know of, anyway. Actually, no, I probably do. I don't agree with that perspective because somewhere, someone would say the same thing about you and what you train. So instead of worrying about what everybody else does, worry about you and your own training. There. Could have done that whole episode in 60 seconds. Other than the grounds in the coffee, which have sunk. That is pretty tasty. What else do I need to say? Anything else? Do I need to say anything else? I don't think so. Started playing around with some designs for some new apparel. We may have to go to a different supplier to do something. I want to do like I mean, it's hard to imagine a sweatshirt when it was 90 yesterday, 91 yesterday. It's gonna be 93 today. But I want to do like a big embroidered whistlekick logo on a hoodie, like big. The company we use will only do small. I think it'll do like a 2-inch square. Meh. I know they can do it. I'm assuming it just costs a lot. So I gotta figure that out. I got some cool designs in mind. What's going on today? So this is my birthday week. Tomorrow is my birthday, and yes, we're gonna have a show because I want to. I don't know, maybe I'll do something fun. Maybe I don't know. I'm still not awake. I didn't sleep well. I think I have new neighbors, and I think they have dogs. Oh, there are definitely dogs. I think they're new dogs, and I think it's from new neighbors because they're coming from a slightly different angle than any dog barking used to. And they didn't shut up all night. And I tried to keep the window open because it was hot, and I didn't feel like putting the air conditioner in. For those of you who may not live in New England, it's a point of pride. Can you get through the summer without an air conditioner? Yeah, I didn't even put the air conditioner in last summer. It's a point of pride. We do some weird stuff up here. We do. It's also bizarrely hotter here compared to a lot of places in the country, which we always have a weekend or two like that. And people lose their mind, and they're like, it's because of all of these things. And, I'm not going to say that that's not contributing, but, it's not like weather is just like a thing over. The country's pretty large. The weather is going to be different in different places. We never get concerned when it's hotter in, I don't know, the mountains of Colorado than it is here. We don't need to get concerned. At least not from that. There are plenty of things to be concerned about. We don't need to worry about that. What was happening? So, being that it's my birthday week, I went back and forth on how to handle this. I don't do well when I don't work at all. Can you hear the dogs? I think these are the new dogs. So I said, all right, I'm just going to work at a reduced capacity. I'm going to keep the meetings I have. And anything that can get pushed off till next week is getting pushed off till next week. That's just it. That's how it is. I think that's the easiest way. So that's what we've gone ahead and done. I've gone ahead and done. That's not a whistlekick action. I got some meetings this morning. I got one tomorrow morning. We are almost ready to send out the magazine. We're so close. So close. So close. I had hoped it would happen last week. I think it'll happen this week. I think we're ready on content. We've got to finalize our mailing list and do it. That should happen this week. I have a meeting with Justin tomorrow morning. We'll probably plan some things out. I am not going to do anything else on my birthday other than that meeting. The only reason I'm taking that meeting is because it's hard for us to find the time to meet. So there's the plan. All right, let's see what you guys get me to talk about. If you have stuff you want me to talk about, you leave it in the comment section after the show closes. Honestly, you could do it under any First Cup episode. I'll still get a notification, theoretically. Come on, notifications, YouTube. There we go. 7? How many of these are worth watching? So YouTube's recommendation engine is a little ridiculous. Because what do we have here? I've got something on a car. I've got something on a TV show. There's a couple subscriptions. Yeah, that's martial arts. Francis has a new episode up. And then we've got a couple things from Friday's episode. So let's see what we got here. All right, we got something from Jen, and we've got something from Frank. So thank you to both of you. Thank you as always to Frank. So here's a quick response. On Friday, I talked about should we have like a different graphic, a different thumbnail graphic or something. And Jen's the only one that's weighed in on this. I think a graphic or constant image for this show as the thumbnail would work best to draw in new viewers and create familiarity. Also, it would be awesome to see a tour of this year's garden, see all the changes you're making. I am going to put a video up of the garden. It'll probably be next week because there's still a lot to be done. I'm having a few people over on Saturday for my birthday, and there's a lot to be done between now and Saturday. So I'm not going to show you beforehand. I want to show you when it looks nice. Coffee grounds. That's not coffee grounds. That's plastic. Meh. That's part of my... No, that... Is it? I can't tell. I can't tell if that's coffee grounds or plastic from the French press. So we'll put that right there, and we'll investigate that later. Chunky coffee is not so good. Yeah, the thumbnail thing. I think, Frank, let's talk about that. Next time we have a call, let's talk about the graphics. I think that would be a good thing. My garden. What did I do yesterday? We were on the north side of the house, put in, what was it, about 12 feet, 12 foot by 20, 12 foot by 20 inch frame. It'll ultimately be a raised bed, but this is why it's got to get built up. Brussels sprouts, because apparently Brussels sprouts like being on the north side. We'll see. It's a little late to get them in, but I'll probably get some. And as I dig, my house was built on old farmland, and I'm continually amazed at how good the soil is in almost every place I dig. Pulled back the sod over there, and it was just worms. They're just like, hi, we're going to eat all this stuff. Good times. All right, so Frank's given us a few quotes. Yesterday was the Dalai Lama's birthday. So Dalai Lama, I am not Buddhist. I have some Buddhist tendencies. Those of you who know Buddhism well and know me well probably have picked up on that. I really dig Buddhism. I once heard the Dalai Lama speak. When I was in college, I had a few friends. They said, hey, Dalai Lama is going to speak in Central Park in New York. Do you want to go? And I went, yeah, let's go. And it was really cool. There were about 10,000 people there. Who did I meet? I met somebody else who was there. There's somebody else in my life who was there. I'm trying to remember who that was. But there were about 10,000 people there. And it was a very interesting experience because here we are. We're in Central Park. We're in New York. It's fairly dense in terms of people. Everybody was in a great mood. Everybody was kind. Everybody was respectful. There was a translator on stage. It was loud. It was hard to understand because just the echo, the audio was not done well. And there's a moment that really sticks with me. And I was waiting in line for one of the porta potties. And I just look around. There are dozens of them. Everybody was super chill. Nobody was stressed out. Nobody was like, everybody was just like, I'm here. And it was great. And I really enjoyed it. So the Dalai Lama is cool. There's also, and not that, I don't know if I believe this, but it's interesting. So in Buddhism, in Tibetan Buddhism, they believe in reincarnation. There is a small Buddhist monastery deep in the woods. Actually, we have two of them in Vermont, but I think the other one's Zen. This one is Tibetan Buddhism, and it's a couple towns over that way, probably about 45 minutes away. And some other friends, this was maybe 10 years, 12 years ago, said, hey, They're doing kind of an open meditation kind of thing. You want to go? Yeah, let's go. I'm always down to check out stuff. And so we go. Now this, the leader of this monastery, I believe the term, Stacy's asking me, I'm assuming that's a name, I don't know. I believe the title is Rinpoche. I may be wrong. But this, at the time, young man, who was younger than I was then, mid-20s, was believed to be the reincarnation of a teacher of the current Dalai Lama. So he wasn't just the head of this monastery, this temple. He was a big deal in the faith. And it was really interesting to see him at, 25. So the other one, Stacy says, is named Karma Koalong. Apparently Stacy's up on Buddhism. That's cool. And just this young man and all of these people 2 to 3 times older than him, just being so reverent. It was really interesting. And that was a good day too. So those are my 2 Buddhism anecdotes for you. But yesterday was Dalai Lama's birthday. And here are some quotes. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. I need this tattooed on the inside of my eyeballs. I've gotten a lot better at living in the moment. As I've aged, as I've found coping mechanisms to not stress out, to not worry. I mean, you heard me talk about my regrets and not being there over the weekend. That does cause me some stress. But not as much as it might have in the past. I'm not as sad as I was. Once I realized that I couldn't leave the cat with other people, I accepted it. And it hurts and it sucks and I'm bummed. But I didn't let it ruin my weekend. I'm not going to let it ruin anything. And then the other side is what's coming. Tomorrow, the next day, next week, next year. If you want to look for reasons to be stressed or anxious, they're always there. Try not to let them bother me. I've said often on the show, do what you can with what you have where you're at. And that where you're at part isn't just physically, it's time. Do what you can with what you have, when and where you're at. Oh, this would have been so much easier if I'd done it yesterday. Well, why waste the energy on worrying about that? You can't go back. It'd be easier if I could do this tomorrow. Well, does it make sense to wait until tomorrow? Don't put off until tomorrow what you can do today. Something like that. I think there's a cliche like that. Just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. I agree. I try to set the tone for my day by saying something positive when I first wake up. The first thing, and actually, quite often the first thing is, "Cat, leave me alone." But after that, it is often, "Today's going to be a great day." Why not say that? It has the opportunity to be a great day. Some of it you have control of, some of it you don't. But why not tackle the day with some positivity? Why not be open to today being great? Yeah. Next, we got 2 more. Forget the failures, keep the lessons. Most of us tend to dwell. I'm a dweller. I try not to dwell. I really do. I've known people who dwell on things so long and so intensely that it ruins them. I've known people for whom, I'm thinking of one person right now, a single event has all but ruined his life. You don't know it until you spend a bunch of time with him. His worldview has changed. His perspective on himself, on his life, his trajectory, goals, all of it. It's changed. Dwelling is living in the past. The past is gone. Take the lesson. What was the other quote? Oh, that's the one we're on. Forget the failures, keep the lessons. Keep the lessons. Next, last one. Before I read that, remember, we do this every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. Catch it later in audio form as a podcast. If you want to support us, here are 3 things you can do. You could leave a comment once the show closes for something for me to read tomorrow. 2, you could join the Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick, and you can get behind the scenes, exclusive content, now free merch. We didn't raise the prices. 3, you can buy something at whistlekick.com. Everything from, we've got links out to our books and our training programs. We've got equipment. We've got more equipment coming. I got an email Thursday or Friday that it's coming. I think there might still be some uniforms listed, all kinds of different stuff going on. And if you're watching, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, please. So the last quote. When you think everything is someone else's fault, you will suffer a lot. When you realize that everything springs only from yourself, you will learn both peace and joy. You ever seen the movie Training Day? There's a brief couple-minute segment in there that I've come back to many, many times. And of all the big dramatic things that happen in that movie, it's probably one of the least dramatic. But I think it's the most insightful in the whole film. And it's a really good film. I like the whole cast. Denzel Washington's awesome. Ethan Hawke's awesome. But there's a part where Ethan Hawke is telling this joke. And the punchline is, you have to, the takeaway, you have to control your smiles and cries because that's all you have. Our reactions. We can't control what goes on around us. We only control how we respond to it. You can make the same claim about sparring, about any free-form martial arts movement. It's all reactive. I throw a punch first, it's because I am reacting to the person's position, posture, distance, maybe what I know about them. It's all reaction. If someone smiles at you on the street and you smile back, you are reacting to them. If they frown at you and it ruins your day, you are reacting. But here's the beauty about reaction. We get to choose it. Maybe we don't have infinite choice, but we still have choice. A lot of times people seem to think that other people have forced them into certain reactions. And, you know, there are times when you could make that argument because the consequences of choosing a different course are really significant and negative. But there's still a choice. And I find that there's tremendous power in that choice. And the best example people give me, well, I don't choose to pay taxes. You do, because it's better than the alternative. So if someone treats you poorly, how do you choose to react to it? If someone punches you in the face, how do you choose to react to it? No matter what's presented to you, day to day, week to week, big, small, we have options and we have choice in how we respond to what's put in front of us. When you recognize that there is choice, there is power in that realization. There's power in the words we use, there's power in our body language, there's power in our movement. So, you can either be dismissive of that power and let others choose things while you blindly react, or you can recognize that you are the only person who determines what you do, and feel empowered. That's my choice. Not easy, but it is simple. Okay. I hope you have a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow for a very celebratory, not really, I'm not going to like put, I was just imagining putting a candle in my coffee. I don't know how I would do that, but I'm not going to do that. So I will see you back here tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Be well, and I'll see you then. Peace.